Oh, absolutely. The color is really representing how he feels his emotions. And what I really wanted to show people is that, yes, we're avoiding some of those hard feelings when we don't feel our emotions, but we're also avoiding some of those really great and wonderful feelings. So if we close ourselves off, we're really losing that ability to see color, to have these experiences in life that make life really special.
Let's go, young authors, hey, let's go out and slay the day. Write your story your own way. What's up, young authors, hey?
That's our theme song for What's Up, Young Authors.
Hi, I'm Amelie Anastasia, author of Foxtails, Foxtails 2, and Wolf Tales, and today I'm here with our special guest, Caitlin Sigouin, who is a therapist and an author of A Rainbow of Feelings. I'm your host, Amelie Anastasia, and today we're going to be talking to her about how she's a therapist and how she's written this amazing book. Hi, Caitlin. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here talking with you today.
Oh, it's wonderful to have you here today. I'm so looking forward to talking to you about this.
Me too.
So, being a therapist, it sounds really fun. How is it?
It is really fun. I get to talk to all kinds of, right now, just adults, but in the past, I also talked with a lot of kids. And, sometimes it's nice to have a person outside of our family to talk to. And I'm so lucky to be able to meet with everybody and be able to hear what might be going on for them. I really love
Yeah.
it.
Now, A Rainbow of Feelings, what inspired you to write it?
So, as a therapist, I speak with, again, a lot of adults now who also have trouble understanding their emotions. Especially when I was growing up, people were told not to feel their emotions. If we felt sad, the message that we got was very much don't feel sad, just feel happy. And so when I was growing up, I had a really hard time myself understanding what do I do if I'm angry? How do I show that I'm angry without maybe throwing things or saying words that I shouldn't say? And so when I became an adult, that's one of the reasons why I decided to become a therapist. So with writing A Rainbow of Feelings, I really wanted to write a story to help kids and adults understand that it's important to be able to feel all of our feelings and to give them tools to start expressing some of those feelings.
I think it's really cool how the adults that you talk to, most of them, their whole life, like 20, 30 years, they haven't felt those emotions that you teach them to feel. And that makes them feel like a lot better. Like all of a sudden, like everything makes sense. Like I'm allowed to feel my emotions. They're there for me to use them. Like that's really
Yeah,
cool how you make them feel more open to express themselves in the ways that they feel like it.
it is really cool. It's one of my favorite parts of my job. And sometimes for adults too, when they start feeling their emotions, it can be really scary because maybe they haven't allowed themselves to cry before. And so it can be a really nice thing in a lot of ways, being able to do that with me. Yeah.
Your main character in A Rainbow of Feelings is Tito, and you have two young sons. Does Tito relate to your sons in any way?
He does. I have, especially one of my sons, has a lot of very big emotions, and he has a lot of trouble sometimes knowing what to do with his emotions. He's very worried about showing them to other people. And so, in writing my book too, I was writing it not just for him, but I think for a lot of kids like him too, who think that, if they show their big emotions to their friends or to people at school, that other people might make comments about it that maybe aren't so nice. So I really wanted to show everybody that it's okay to have those big feelings and it's part of growing up. And again, as adults, we still have those big feelings.
What was your process of publishing your book? Like, personally, from my process, we illustrated it and then we published it. We didn't like make a rough draft of it and then make another draft with like the pictures. Like, personally, how did you publish your book?
Yeah, so I started writing it last year, like I mentioned. And then in the summertime, I sent it to two friends who were also therapists and moms to get their impression of it. And both of them really liked my book. So that gave me a little bit of the confidence to say, okay, maybe other people too would like to read this story. So I joined a writing group on Facebook. and I connected with my illustrator. And so she really liked the story too. And she drew the pictures. So it was me who wrote the story, but it was her who drew the beautiful pictures that you saw in the book. And then it took, I sent her the copy, I think in November, and she was finished in March illustrating. And so then we went forward and we published it. So it took quite a long time to get here, but I'm really happy now that it's here and that everybody's been able to read it.
Now, when I read A Rainbow of Feelings, I really focused on how he's feeling this one emotion. All of a sudden he's just so happy and excited for the day ahead of him. And then he kind of has a bad start to it. And he starts to feel sad. And then he realizes that he's kind of angry too, and like lonely, and just all these different emotions. And at one point he like kind of downs himself by realizing like he doesn't want to feel any of these emotions. And then so he stops feeling. And everything just like, it seems that like the colors have just moved on without him. And then when he starts feeling them again, it's like the colors return. So is that representing, like, is the color representing the emotions or like what's inside of him, or?
Yeah, exactly. I'm really glad that you picked up on that. So, absolutely, the color is really representing how he feels his emotions. And what I really wanted to show people is that, yes, we're avoiding some of those hard feelings when we don't feel our emotions, but we're also avoiding some of those really great and wonderful feelings. So, if we close ourselves off, we're really losing that ability to see color, to have these experiences in life that make life really special. And so I'm really glad that you picked up on that. Yeah.
What created the inspiration for using like not animals or buildings or like a beanstalk? What inspired you using little boys to create this story?
I think because I have boys too, when I was writing the story, I was really picturing a little boy. I'll show you later in the book too. There's one illustration where my two boys are in it, so I'll show you that in a little bit. But I think that for myself, I've read a lot of stories that have animals in them like yours, and they're so wonderful. And I love how the animals are really given personalities and characteristics. But for myself, when I was thinking about the story, I really kept picturing a little boy. So I decided to use people to write it and to tell the story. Do you want me to show you the picture with my two boys in it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is. My illustrator did that as a surprise. I hope that you'll be able to see on the camera. But do you see those two little boys on the school bus?
Yeah.
So the one with the really silly expression, that's my youngest. And the one that looks more serious, that's my eldest. Yeah. So that was a really nice surprise for me too, that my boys were actually in the story.
So was there anything you'd like to mention or specify about your book?
Yeah, if anybody would like to connect with me, if they enjoy the story, I'm really I love hearing feedback. So if anyone wants to share feedback or comments with me, if they buy the book and they love it, I'd love to have a review on Amazon, or just a message on social media letting me know how much they enjoy it or what they think of it. I love hearing that from people. But I hope whoever reads the story that they really connect with it and that they like it as well.
And I can let you know that to learn more about you, I was actually just on Amazon reading your blogs and stuff. And I read most of the comments, and I can promise you every one of them was just like, this book was so inspirational. This book was so entertaining to my children. This book like really reminded me about how like adults' words can really take an expression on a child's emotions. Like,
That's so nice of you to let me know. Thank you. That's really great feedback to hear.
what about your job? What do you like most about it? Like
You know,
like the thing that like keeps you going on your job.
I'd say the thing that I love the most is meeting with so many people and having them share their stories with me. I love stories, as you can tell, writing a book, but everybody sharing their experience and their journey and being able to be a part of that is really so special. And I think that's one of the things that I enjoy the most. Yeah.
So, being a therapist, you must hear like some good stories, but some not so great. How is that like? How do you make the best of that to the to the people in your story? How do you like? So Tito had a not so great day,
Mhm.
and it kind of relates to how people that you meet, they have a not so great day, and then somebody like like Tito's grandma, which is like you, talks to them about it and it makes them feel a lot better.
And so sometimes in people's stories too, there's often one person at least who's been sort of a helper in the situation. And so I try to focus on that with the person and to remind them that they've often been the helper themselves in their story. So sometimes, even though they might think that they haven't sort of done anything to help themselves, they usually have. They usually have a lot more power than they think that they do. And so I try to focus on those people. And then for myself, when I've had a hard day and I'm thinking of some of the harder stories in my head, what I try to do is things that feel good for me. So I do yoga, I play with my kids, I love to go swimming and skiing in the wintertime. And I try to focus on those sorts of things that give me sort of energy back and make me feel good so that I have energy to hear them and hear their stories.
Having two kids, a really good job, a lot of patients who know you and love you and just love you in general as their therapist, just someone in their life. People who people who follow you. Do you have like a TikTok or Instagram thing?
Yeah, I'm not on TikTok, but I am on Instagram. And so it's just at Caitlin Sigouin. Yeah.
So people who follow you, people who like your videos, stuff like that, they really look up to you. You're like a very important person in a lot of people's lives.
I guess I am. Thank you. I don't often think of myself that way, but it's one of these good reminders that sometimes we don't see ourselves the way other people see us, right? So it's important to focus on the positive things that we are doing. You would make a good therapist yourself one day if that's a career that you ever wanted to choose. Yeah.
So, Caitlin, it has been very nice talking to you today. Oh, and anybody who would like to follow her or learn more about her, I hear there's a very interesting website about a free coloring app. Could you tell us about that, Caitlin?
Yeah, so on my website, www.caitlinsigouin.com, I do have a free coloring sheet that you can download to color in Tito as a mermaid, actually. So it's really neat. My illustrator did that up for Mermaid. But I will have, coming over the summer, I will also have free learning resources. So teachers, parents, anybody who wants to download and use those to learn more about emotions, tools on how to express our emotions. They're going to be on my website as well for free coming soon. Yeah,
And other therapists too can benefit from this a great deal too.
absolutely.
Yeah.
A lot of my colleagues who are therapists have read it and they really like it as well.
Caitlin, it has been very inspirational and good talking to you today. You have been an amazing guest on my podcast, and I'm so glad that I could have you on my podcast today. What's up, young authors? Just wishing you inspiration and a story to tell. Thanks, Caitlin. See you next time on What's Up, Young Authors.
Bye, and thanks again for having me.
Bye.
Go young authors, hey, let's go out and slay the day. Write your story your own way. What's up, young authors, hey? Let's go young authors, hey, let's go out and slay the day. Write your story your own way. What's up, young authors, hey, 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 hey. What's up, young authors? Hey.